So it's gone on 3 years now that I have this ritual. Thursday mornings, I start off my morning very good with a Naruto episode. Now, sometimes, not every episode is going to get me hyped. Not every episode is going to get me excited. But when we get these episodes, like today's episode, it really just starts off my day so well. And I'm so glad I have this ritual because if I don't get a good Naruto episode, I feel as though my day wasn't complete. And this episode definitely started off my day wonderfully. Starting off with, I want to say, Studio Pierrot. You guys are just like doing a phenomenal job with taking something and making it 10 times better, because in the manga, at this particular point, yeah, it was still good, but they're taking it and making it even better. The animation is beautifully done. No complaints there whatsoever with the animation. It just looks gorgeous, and they're just like connecting things and moving it smoothly. No slow pacing, and I'm just really appreciating what they're doing for this arc. And, hopefully some of the latter stuff, which maybe, a lot of people might not like or whatever, they can improve on as well and really make it flow better, like what they're doing with this episode. Now, most of this episode was action heavy. It was a lot of action, and it was also strategizing. But if you look at it from beneath the surface, you look at it a little bit closer, it really, to me, feels as though it's more so a Kakashi-centric episode, because while all the action is going on, while all the strategy is going on, it's piecing more together on who he feels this person is. And it gives me chills when I see his reaction when he's looking at the masked man and he's like, well, this, how are we connected? What's going on here? And the closer he gets to the truth, the more horrified he feels and the more, disturbed he looks. And it's just a really interesting feeling. And I think that that's the most important part of the episode. Yes, you have incredible action. Yes, you have craziness, strategy, like what's going on here and there. But I think the important part of the episode really is Kakashi and him having to deal with who he feels this person may be, or the connection this person may have to who he feels. And obviously I'm not going to give away anything, but it definitely is getting more interesting in that aspect of looking at Kakashi and it's like, fuck, how does he deal with it? And he's just being horrified. And the things that this masked man is saying is really giving hints as to who he may be. So it's definitely piecing together the puzzle very nicely. And I just think that this episode was just a wonderful episode, not only on an enjoyment aspect, but it just had action, beautiful animation, hints at later stuff, and it was also strategizing and learning a little bit more about how to defeat this guy, this masked man who seems incapable of being touched. So, we finally got blasting on him. We got Rasengan. We got Kamui activation hitting him with a shuriken. So it's really piecing together everything properly. I could say that, yeah, this episode definitely could have used a bit more progression as far as advancing things, but nonetheless, I feel as though they adapted the right amount of material because each episode needs to do what it does, and this episode really, out of everything that it did, yes, it was beautiful and gorgeous, but for me personally, I think the important thing, again, is Kakashi and how he's going through this situation, and it's good that he has his friend Might Guy, which, by the way, I was so fucking excited when I see Might Guy going in, trying to freaking fight one of the leader of the Akatsuki, and it's just like, yo, this is a wonderful moment right now. To see Might Guy get a moment where, one of the complaints about Shippuden is a lot of the people from the past never really get their moments, especially, people like the Konoha 11, but at least, you see Might Guy, he's going in against the leader of the Akatsuki, and he ain't backing down, so that was some beast shit as well, and it's just, it's a good thing that he's around for Kakashi, because he right now needs somebody to lean on, because if what he is suspecting is true, then it's gonna freaking ratify him, and it's gonna just make him feel like, so crazy. So it's good that he has a friend with him, and it's good that he has a student, and it's also starting to test, which later on it might not be a good thing, but as of right now, to test Naruto's resolve, and Naruto's like, I don't give a fuck about what you have to say, you masked dweeb. I am going to be Hokage. You can keep on with your dream bullshit, but I know what I'm gonna be, and I know what I'm gonna do, so it doesn't matter what you have to say. And I love that, because that shows his conviction, and it shows how solid it is that Naruto is still, in a way, that same person he was from day one. I'm going to be Hokage. I don't give a fuck. And that's what it's called, sticking to your dreams. And I really appreciated that. This episode, again, the only fault you could probably say is, yeah, it could have covered a little bit more ground, but it was done beautifully, and I felt as though the pacing was fine. I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. I felt it was great. It did a lot of good things, and it's not only the action, because the action is a bonus when you have all this interesting stuff going on with Kakashi, the identity of the masked man, and just everything that's going on as a whole. It's just freaking great stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Any anime-only viewers out there left, all one of you guys at this point. Who do you think might be the masked man? It seems as though next week, based off the preview, that mask is coming off. I saw based off the preview, it looked like he didn't have the mask on. So we are going to probably get it next week, hopefully. Who do you think it is? And also, do you think there's a possibility for manga readers that didn't like the reveal in the manga? Do you think there's a possibility that anything Studio Pierrot can do can mold it into something better than what it ultimately, you know, for what you feel went downhill or whatever? What do you guys think as far as that goes? And I'm talking about manga readers in specific. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then obviously you know what I'm talking about. Do you think that there's a way that they can mold some of the stuff into a better creation than what you felt the manga may have lacked? Let me know in the comment section below and your overall thoughts of this episode. Again, I felt as though it was a great episode and it handled things, not only the action, but it handled more of the emotional aspects and more of the clues and more of the strategy in a very beautiful way. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see next episode how they're going to handle the reveal, because it looks like it's going down that way. And it looks like they're not doing it the way the manga did it. It looks like they might actually take something out and then add it later in like some sort of fillerish way or some sort of recap way. So I'm interested to see how they're going to handle it. But I'm Finette World, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember always to stick to your dreams like Naruto. I'm just saying.